Today's Lens blog is going to be about the idea of personal purpose. Now, the pandemic has given us a great opportunity to step back and reflect on what's important to us. That struck me the other day when I was having dinner with my son, Carl. He's always been really passionate about UK politics. And then suddenly, almost out of the blue, he said to me, "Actually, Dad, is India the place where we could be making a bigger difference? Could we consider as a family just moving there?" And it sparked off a really interesting discussion between us about what we wanted in the next phase of our life. Now, as lockdown ends, we have this opportunity, but there's a real risk that the old neurocircuitry just snaps back and we end up going back to the office, and the most significant decision that we make is whether we go back 2 days a week or 3 days a week or the whole week. And so I think it's really important that we use this space before that circuitry has fired back in again to ask some fundamental questions. And there's 3 that I want you to potentially think about and discuss with somebody who knows you well. What have you learned during the pandemic about what's important to you? What have been the new lessons in that space? Secondly, how do you want to spend the precious time that you have during the next phase of your life? And 3, what will you regret if you don't change it now in terms of the way you're living your life? Now, those questions are quite broad, but I think they're really worth asking. I came across a survey of retired people. It was a global survey across a range of countries. And they asked them, what are the main regrets that you have about your life, looking back? And people said 3 things that stood out way above all the others. The first was, I wish instead of living my life along tram lines, I'd step back to question where I was going and why I was doing it. Secondly, I wish I'd thought about the legacy I was going to leave behind. And thirdly, and this was actually a really huge one, I wish I'd taken more risk in my life. Now, it's a fair bet that all of us will, when we retire, will look back and have those regrets. And I think the pandemic provides a great opportunity to kind of break out of that habit of just going along with life. And I think we should all use it. Sit down with somebody, ask those questions, see what the learnings are. Then if you snap back to your old patterns, at least you've done it in an informed way. I suspect most of us won't, and will make a few significant changes. And this is a moment to be seized upon rather than just let it drift away. Well, thank you for listening, and get back to us on any reflections that you have, through those questions. Thank you.